Did you know that narcissism affects millions of people around the world? It's more common than you might think. Narcissism exists on a spectrum from healthy self-confidence to a full-blown personality disorder. We often hear the term narcissist thrown around, but what does it truly mean? And how can understanding this complex personality trait help us navigate our relationships and protect our well-being? Narcissism is often misunderstood as simple vanity or self-obsession. While these traits are certainly present, narcissism runs much deeper. It's a complex personality trait characterized by a grandiose sense of self-importance, a need for admiration, and a lack of empathy for others. Identifying narcissistic traits is not about labeling or diagnosing individuals. It's about protecting yourself from emotional harm and creating healthy boundaries in your relationships. By understanding the signs of narcissism, you can recognize red flags early on and make informed decisions about your interactions. Navigating the world of narcissism requires understanding its various forms. While all narcissists share a core set of traits, they manifest in different ways, creating distinct subtypes. Recognizing these subtypes is crucial for understanding the nuanced ways narcissism plays out in relationships. Section 2, Grandiose Narcissism, the Reign of Arrogance and Entitlement. Grandiose narcissists are often the most easily identifiable. They possess an inflated sense of self-importance, believing they are superior to others and deserving of special treatment. Their need for admiration is insatiable, and they thrive on being the center of attention. Section 3, Vulnerable Narcissism, a fragile ego masked by defensiveness. Unlike their grandiose counterparts, vulnerable narcissists are not as outwardly arrogant or attention-seeking. Instead, they mask their deep-seated insecurities and sense of entitlement with a facade of vulnerability, sensitivity, and self-deprecation. Section 4, The Shared Core, exploring the common threads of narcissism. Despite their differences, grandiose and vulnerable narcissists share a common core of traits. Both types have an inflated sense of self-importance, a lack of empathy, and a need for admiration and validation. The narcissistic tango male and female narcissists in relationships. Relationships with narcissists, regardless of gender, can be emotionally draining and incredibly damaging. The narcissist's need for control, admiration, and lack of empathy create an imbalance of power, leaving their partners feeling depleted and devalued. He's got the power. Unveiling the male narcissist in love. The male narcissist often presents himself as charming, confident, and successful. He's the life of the party, effortlessly drawing attention and admiration. Initially, he may sweep you off your feet with grand gestures and promises of a fairy tale romance. The Siren's Call. Decoding the female narcissist in relationships. The female narcissist can be just as damaging as her male counterpart, but her tactics often differ. She may present herself as vulnerable, fragile, and in need of constant reassurance and attention. She's the damsel in distress, seeking a partner who will rescue her from her problems and cater to her every need. Section 4. Breaking free from the narcissist's web. Recognizing the signs and seeking support. Recognizing the signs of a narcissistic relationship is the first step towards breaking free from the cycle of abuse and reclaiming your life. If you find yourself constantly walking on eggshells, doubting your own perceptions, or feeling emotionally drained and devalued, it's crucial to seek help. Section 1, Deep Dive, Understanding Specific Narcissistic Traits. Now that we've explored the general types of narcissism, let's dive deeper into the specific traits that characterize this personality disorder. Narcissism is a complex and multifaceted condition, and understanding its nuances can be crucial for both personal and professional relationships. By identifying these traits, we can better navigate interactions with individuals who may exhibit narcissistic behaviors. Remember, these traits exist on a spectrum, and not everyone who exhibits some of these behaviors is a narcissist. It's important to approach this topic with empathy and an open mind. People can display narcissistic traits without having a full-blown narcissistic personality disorder. The key is to recognize patterns and understand the context in which these behaviors occur. However, recognizing these patterns can help you understand the dynamics at play and protect yourself from potential harm. For instance, one common trait is a grandiose sense of self-importance. This can manifest as an exaggerated sense of achievements and talents, expecting to be recognized as superior without commensurate achievements. Another trait is a preoccupation with fantasies of unlimited success, power, brilliance, beauty, or ideal love. These individuals often believe they are special and unique and can only be understood by, or should associate with, other special or high-status people or institutions. Narcissists also require excessive admiration. They have a constant need for attention and affirmation, and they may become upset or angry if they do not receive the praise they believe they deserve. This need for admiration often leads to a sense of entitlement, where they expect favorable treatment or automatic compliance with their expectations. Interpersonally, they may exploit others to achieve their own ends, lacking empathy and being unwilling to recognize or identify with the feelings and needs of others. Envy is another hallmark of narcissism. Narcissists are often envious of others or believe that others are envious of them. This can lead to feelings of resentment and hostility towards those they perceive as threats. Additionally, they may display arrogant, haughty behaviors or attitudes, often looking down on others and treating them with disdain or condescension. It's also important to note that narcissistic traits can vary in intensity and expression. Some individuals may exhibit these traits more subtly, while others may display them more overtly. Understanding these nuances can help you better navigate relationships and interactions with individuals who may have narcissistic tendencies. By recognizing these patterns, you can set healthy boundaries and protect yourself from potential harm. In conclusion, understanding specific narcissistic traits is essential for recognizing and managing relationships with individuals who may exhibit these behaviors. By being aware of these traits and their potential impact, you can take steps to protect yourself and maintain healthy, balanced relationships. Remember, knowledge is power, and the more you understand about narcissism, the better equipped you will be to handle interactions with narcissistic individuals. Section 2, the malignant narcissist, a dangerous combination. While all forms of narcissism can be damaging, malignant narcissism is considered the most severe and destructive subtype. This type combines the core traits of narcissism with antisocial behaviors, paranoia, and a sadistic streak. Section 3, covert versus overt narcissism, spotting the differences. While all narcissists share a core set of traits, they can manifest in different ways. One important distinction is between covert and overt narcissism. Section 4, beyond the label, focusing on behaviors, not diagnoses. It's important to remember that this video is for informational purposes only and should not be used to diagnose yourself or others. Narcissism is a complex personality disorder that requires professional assessment and treatment. Section 1. Gaslighting, a narcissist's weapon of choice. Gaslighting is an insidious form of emotional manipulation often employed by narcissists to maintain control in relationships. It's a deliberate and systematic attempt to make you doubt your own sanity, perceptions, and memories. The term gaslighting originates from the 1938 play Gaslight, where a husband manipulates his wife into believing she's going insane. Section 2. Identifying gaslighting tactics and examples. Gaslighting can be difficult to identify because it often unfolds gradually and subtly. Narcissists are skilled manipulators who weave their distortions into everyday interactions, making it hard to distinguish between genuine misunderstandings and deliberate attempts to undermine your reality. Section 3. The impact of gaslighting, eroding your reality. Gaslighting can have a devastating impact on your mental and emotional well-being. Over time, the constant barrage of manipulation and invalidation can chip away at your self-esteem, leaving you feeling confused, anxious, and deeply insecure. Section 4. Breaking free from the gaslight. Reclaiming your truth. Breaking free from gaslighting requires recognizing that you are being abused and taking steps to reclaim your reality and self-worth. This can be a challenging process, especially if you've been subjected to gaslighting for a long time. However, with support and self-compassion, it is possible to heal from this form of emotional abuse. Unveiling the faces of abuse, emotional, mental, verbal, and physical narcissists. Narcissism is a complex and multifaceted personality disorder that can manifest in various ways, each with its own unique set of behaviors and tactics. Understanding these different forms of narcissism is crucial in recognizing and addressing the abuse that often accompanies them. Narcissism, in its various forms, often manifests as abuse within relationships. This abuse can be subtle or overt, but it always serves to undermine the victim's sense of self-worth and autonomy. Emotional narcissists, for example, may use manipulation and guilt to control their partners, creating a toxic environment where the victim feels constantly on edge. This abuse can take many forms, each leaving its own devastating impact on the victim. Mental narcissists, on the other hand, may employ gaslighting and other psychological tactics to distort the victim's perception of reality, making them doubt their own thoughts and feelings. This can lead to a deep sense of confusion and helplessness as the victim struggles to make sense of their own experiences. While we often associate abuse with physical violence, it's crucial to recognize the equally destructive nature of emotional, mental, and verbal abuse. Verbal narcissists may use words as weapons, hurling insults and criticisms to belittle and demean their victims. This constant barrage of negativity can erode the victim's self-esteem and leave them feeling worthless and unlovable, all of which are common tactics employed by narcissists. Physical narcissists, meanwhile, may resort to physical violence to assert their dominance and control over their victims. This can range from subtle forms of physical intimidation to outright physical assault. Regardless of the form it takes, the goal of narcissistic abuse is always the same: to maintain power and control over the victim. It's important to recognize that narcissistic abuse is not limited to romantic relationships. It can occur in any type of relationship, including friendships, family dynamics, and even professional settings. In all these contexts, the narcissist seeks to exploit and manipulate others for their own gain, often leaving a trail of emotional and psychological devastation in their wake. Recovery from narcissistic abuse is a challenging and often lengthy process. It requires the victim to rebuild their sense of self-worth and autonomy, often with the help of therapy and support from loved ones. It's important for victims to understand that the abuse they experienced was not their fault and that they deserve to be treated with respect and kindness. Self-care practices such as meditation, journaling, and physical exercise can also be beneficial in the healing process. These activities can help victims reconnect with their own thoughts and feelings and provide a sense of peace and stability in the aftermath of abuse. Seeking professional help is often a crucial step in the recovery process. Therapists who specialize in trauma and abuse can provide valuable guidance and support, helping victims to process their experiences and develop healthy coping mechanisms. Support groups can also offer a sense of community and understanding as victims connect with others who have had similar experiences. Ultimately, recovery from narcissistic abuse is about reclaiming one's sense of self and learning to trust again. It's a journey that requires patience, resilience, and a commitment to self-care. But with the right support and resources, it is possible to heal and move forward, leaving the pain of the past behind. Remember, you are not alone. There is hope and help available, and you have the strength to overcome the challenges you face. By understanding the different forms of narcissistic abuse and taking steps to protect yourself, you can begin to build a brighter, healthier future. The Soul Crusher, understanding the emotional narcissist. Emotional narcissists are masters at manipulating emotions to maintain control and dominance in relationships. They lack empathy and are incapable of genuine emotional connection, viewing their partners as objects to fulfill their own needs and desires. Mind games and manipulation. Inside the world of the mental narcissist. Mental narcissists, also known as covert narcissists, employ a more insidious form of abuse, using mind games and manipulation to undermine their partner's self-esteem and control their behavior. Their tactics are often subtle and difficult to detect, making it challenging for the victim to recognize the abuse they're experiencing. Section 4. Words as weapons, recognizing the verbal narcissist. Verbal narcissists use words as weapons to demean, belittle, and control their partners. Their language is often laced with insults, criticism, and put-downs, designed to chip away at the victim's self-esteem and maintain the narcissist's sense of superiority. Section 1. The worst type of narcissist. A matter of impact. When grappling with the different faces of narcissism, a question often arises: which type is the worst? Is it the grandiose narcissist, flaunting their inflated ego, or the covert narcissist, manipulating from the shadows? The truth is, there's no single answer. Section 2. Recognizing the cycle, choosing your path. Throughout this exploration of narcissism, we've delved into its various forms, unmasked its manipulative tactics, and witnessed the devastating impact it can have on relationships. Narcissism, with its many faces, can infiltrate our lives in subtle and overt ways. It can be found in romantic relationships, friendships, family dynamics, and even in the workplace. The emotional toll it takes on individuals can be profound, leading to feelings of worthlessness, confusion, and deep emotional pain. But knowledge without action is like a compass without a map. It's essential to not only recognize the signs of narcissism, but also to understand how to navigate through and beyond it. Just as a compass points the way, our awareness and understanding can guide us, but we need a map, a plan of action to truly move forward. Understanding narcissism is only the first step. It provides the foundation upon which we can build healthier relationships. This understanding allows us to set boundaries, recognize red flags, and protect our emotional well-being. It empowers us to make choices that align with our values and needs. The real power lies in using this knowledge to make informed choices. It's about taking proactive steps to change our patterns and behaviors. This might mean seeking therapy, joining support groups, or educating ourselves further on the topic. It's about being intentional in our interactions and relationships, ensuring that we are not only aware of narcissistic behaviors, but also equipped to handle them effectively and create healthier, more fulfilling relationships. When we choose to act on our knowledge, we open the door to genuine connections. We can foster relationships built on mutual respect, understanding, and empathy. By recognizing and breaking free from the cycle of narcissism, we pave the way for a life filled with authentic and meaningful interactions. This journey is not always easy, but it is undoubtedly worth it. Each step we take towards understanding and action brings us closer to the relationships and life we truly desire. It's also important to remember that healing and growth are ongoing processes. As we continue to learn and evolve, we must be patient with ourselves. Self-compassion and self-care are crucial components of this journey. Taking time to reflect, meditate, and engage in activities that nurture our well-being can help us stay grounded and resilient. Setting boundaries is a vital part of this process. It involves clearly defining what is acceptable and what is not in our relationships. This can be challenging, especially if we are used to accommodating others at the expense of our own needs. However, boundaries are essential for maintaining our mental and emotional health. They help us protect ourselves from manipulative and harmful behaviors. Celebrating our progress, no matter how small, is equally important. Each step forward, each boundary set, and each moment of self-awareness is a victory. These achievements remind us of our strength and resilience. They motivate us to keep moving forward, even when the path is difficult. As we continue on this journey, we will encounter moments of doubt and uncertainty. But with each challenge, we grow stronger and more confident in our ability to navigate our path. The journey of recognizing the cycle of narcissism and choosing our path is a testament to our courage and determination. It is a journey towards a life of authenticity, fulfillment, and genuine connection. In the end, the choice is ours. We have the power to break free from the cycle of narcissism and create the life and relationships we desire. By recognizing the cycle and choosing our path, we take control of our destiny. We embrace the possibility of a brighter, healthier, and more fulfilling future. Section 3. Final thoughts: knowledge as armor, empathy as shield. As we conclude our exploration of narcissism, it's important to remember that knowledge is empowering. By understanding the traits, tactics, and impact of this personality disorder, we equip ourselves with the tools to navigate challenging relationships and protect our own well-being.